Hello, everyone. Give everyone a few more minutes to join. We've got just a couple of minutes, but I'll share our agenda in the meantime. I feel like I should have prepared something to entertain everyone while we're waiting, but I didn't do that. Thanks for being here, everyone. We've got a few things to get through tonight. We'll give everyone just a couple more minutes, but thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. We had December off, so we have a few things to summarize from last year, and we'll kick things off for 2025.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello, welcome. Give it just another minute or so. I'm not sure. I haven't seen if Patrick is on. Yeah, I think so. Okay. We'll go ahead and call to order. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Like I said, we had our November meeting. We did not have a meeting in December, so thank you for joining us again here in 2025 for the remainder of the school year. We have a guest with us this evening, so thank you very much. Katie Ott is here to talk about McWanthingsville Education Fund. Thank you for that. But first, we will be going through our administrative reports, so we'll start with Patrick.
Hi, thanks for having me. First off, thank you for your support with the toy drive in December. It was a great success and really helped Capco out this year. So that was great. Thank you. So we're coming up on blood drive, which is February 6th, and we would love to have some volunteers from PTSO come and volunteer at the blood drive. It just kind of helps when there's parents there and like adults in general to handle some stuff. And slow slots would be from 7 to 9 and 9 to 11 and 11 to 1. So if you want to email FOF with anybody who wants to do that, it'd be really helpful. We also would love some parent donations from 7 to 7:30 in those slots. I'll send you the email with the poster right now. It just helps make sure the students get the slots that they can do during school hours, but we also love to get the earlier slots filled too. Right now, we're looking good. We are in the middle of promotions. We're going to have a school-wide rock, paper, scissors contest, which should be a lot of fun, and hopefully that works out. And also a scavenger hunt at some point. So that's looking good. And then for prom's also meeting. Well, do you have any questions about blood drive?
I know, Patrick, I was there last year volunteering. I was so incredibly impressed at how many students showed up. It was really encouraging to see that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We try to get as many students there as possible.
Yeah.
How many volunteers do you need at each time slot?
I'd say 3 total, so I'd say 1 per slot.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So then, we are also planning prom. That is the junior's responsibility, but I have been informed that they have picked the Pritzelaff in the 3rd ward for the venue this year. I heard it's really exciting, so that should be good. We were hoping you could provide the same scholarships for students who can't afford the tickets again. That'd be awesome. And we also, because it's a different venue, we know you in the past have sponsored the picture opportunities at the Discovery World, and we were hoping that instead of that, because they don't have that at this new venue, you could possibly sponsor a parking lot for the students, but it would be $900. So that's just something to think about, and you can get back to me or Foff about that. Past that, the students also have interest in a casino themed area for entertainment purposes. We don't have this priced out yet, but if you have any ideas or could help with these items, it would help us keep the tickets under 100, which really helps out the students. That's all I got. Any questions?
Do you have an idea of what month prom will be in, just for our planning, so we can?
Oh yes, prom will be April 5th.
April 5th. Perfect. Thank you. That's great. We'll go over all of those details and get back with you. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the great updates. It's super exciting to look that far into the school year and be thinking of maybe warmer days. That's wonderful. Thanks. Next on our agenda, we have Ms. Blahnik with the faculty report.
All right, good to see everybody. Thanks, Patrick, for your update. Sounds like student council is busy doing all kinds of things. I know it's been a while, so I hope everybody had a wonderful winter break with their family, able to connect and have a good time. I did want to thank you. I know it's been a while, but we haven't forgotten the treats that you sent us off with going into break. I think that was like December, I don't know, mid-December, so right before break. That's always a fan favorite. So we really appreciate that. So thank you. About 2 weeks ago now, we hit our day 20 where progress reports came out. So we're well into the trimester at this point. I'm going to talk a little bit about course registration, but Mr. Ebert, I promise I won't steal your thunder. I know you probably want to go more into detail on that. But just to give you a little overview, on Monday, January 6th, we had a kickoff in homeroom where we had an alternative schedule where Mr. Ebert made a video and gave students really great information about homeroom. So they got some of that initial information there. More next week, I believe with the counselors, some of our current students will meet and there'll be some things to fill out. So I'm sure he'll talk more about that. The one thing I just wanted to emphasize would be if your student does have a question on a particular class, especially with a teacher that maybe they are unfamiliar with, maybe encourage them to seek out their teacher to ask about just course load or anything that they might have questions on. I think that goes a long way, and even starting those initial relationships. I would know I was telling Miss Pope this because one of her students were involved in the social studies department. We all handle it a little bit differently, but some of our teachers kind of like swapped for 15 minutes. So we got to talk to potential new students about a class that they might want to register for. But then some of our current students actually went into the classes to talk to sophomores or freshman students that might consider those classes, just to know like, yes, this might be for me or maybe not. And so that was a really cool information opportunity for those potential students, but also a really cool leadership opportunity, I thought, for some of our older current students. And again, more on that probably from Mr. Ebert. January 10th, we had a really cool opportunity. We do this every year, or have been, the HHS music event in the field house. for elementary students in grades 3, but then all the way through 8th grade, where our orchestra, choir, and band perform for those students. Really great event, a lot of students coming together, teachers coming together. So shout out to Mr. Emmanuelson, Mr. O'Brien, and Mr. O. I had a 5th grader that was able to attend. He thought it was pretty cool coming to the high school. I didn't get to see him, but I know he had a really great time. So if your student was involved in that, thank them. And I think that it was a really great event. Last Thursday, we had parent-teacher conferences again, both the Meet the Teacher and in person. So really great to connect with families. We really appreciate the Chinese food. So thank you for always thinking of us. We really appreciate that. And the extra treats that we're able to take back to our classroom. It really does help out. On Friday, students were off, but teachers had an in-service. One thing that I thought was really cool that we got to do for the second time this year was connect with our middle school teachers, just to see kind of like assessments, priorities, skills, what are students that are doing there that will eventually come to us, just so we can best be prepared for those students. And then we had some other topics on the agenda too, but that was a standout for me. We had off for Martin Luther King Day, and then obviously our cold day on Tuesday, but back at it on Wednesday of this week, so yesterday. Beyond that, our winter sports are obviously in full swing. I think we had our hockey elementary night. Some sports have had their senior nights. And then beyond that, we have, as Patrick mentioned, the blood drive that's coming up. So he gave great information on that. And then the Pirates of Penzance will be coming out, I think it's February 13th through the 16th. And I think that's it. Beyond, the only other thing might be eventually Mr. Ebert sends out information on some boost session information by the end of the trimester. If that applies to any students in AP courses, you'll get more information just to sort of bridge that gap between when the time of the class ends prior to the May test where we can support your student. And I think that's it. Hopefully I didn't steal the thunder too much.
Thanks, Patrick and Mrs. Blahnik. Both of you guys did a great job. And I don't have a whole lot left to talk about because they're doing such a good job. So I appreciate that. I can add a little bit to some of the things that are going on. First off, about parent-teacher conferences, I'll second again what Melissa said. The Chinese, I know I talked to some of the people involved already. The Chinese food is such a hit. So you know, if we're lucky enough to have some support from you guys again next year with that, I would say Chinese is a go again at some point during the school year. But we certainly appreciate everybody and their involvement. Grateful for, again, the partnership we have, and also grateful for our participation. I said last time we were at 45% turnout in first trimester, which was a, you know, quote unquote record since we've started the Meet the Teacher program, where we can actually, you know, document some of these things in a better way to get some data. We were the same in second trimester as we were last year, 37%, which is strong. I mean, no doubt, as each trimester goes, we get just a little less participation, but 37% is really good. So we were really pleased with that. I'm sure Melissa was filled up on video, and then I saw her with a number of people in the field house. So again, thanks for everybody for participation in that. The home-school relationship is of utmost importance for all of our kids to be successful. And then along with that is the course registration process. And really, we do want you engaged, and hopefully you probably have been, with your student or students on their course selection for next year. You know, Melissa talked about the social studies department and how they get around it and bring students around it to talk about some of the neat courses that kids can get into the following year. Do similar things in some of the other departments as well. I think it's important for that to take place. There's really no better people to hear it from about what the expectations are and what kids can be, expectations for workload, right? And what kids can be thinking about what they're going to be learning about for next year in terms of the content and skills that they'd be engaged in, than from the teachers who have, this past year run those classes and likely will again, right? So, if there's questions yet that people have, you're hearing it from Melissa, you hear it from me. Please talk to the teachers, whether it's current teachers or other teachers or department chairs are happy to talk to people about stuff that's going on in the department. I certainly am. And then of course counselors, right? There's still time to engage with your student's counselor about some of the questions people might have. Honors or on level, AP or on level, how many is too many of those? All really important questions, and all need to be thinking about that word that we say all the time, and that's balance, right? And ensuring that we are creating a 15 slot schedule that is not going to wear a student down, but build them up and help them showcase to colleges what it is they're passionate about, and that they are ready to go when they get to college. Few days yet to finalize those courses. Next week, Tuesday, it's sophomores who are going to meet with the counselors for one last time. Wednesday's juniors, seniors on Thursday. Still not the deadline. I know you got an email from me, and I told all the kids the deadline's the 31st. It always has been. But there's an opportunity next week to hopefully finalize some things with the kids, and at a macro level, the counselors who will be meeting with them and kind of overlooking their schedules. But individual conversations can be great too. I do have to, present a caveat here, as I always do. It's really hard to change schedules after they've been created in the master schedule. So everybody's thoughtful engagement in what those selections are is really important. Obviously, we build a schedule based on what student choices are. FTE or our percent of faculty by department and people's jobs are essentially decided, on what students are choosing, and it's hard to go back on some of those things, almost impossible when our schedule doesn't allow for it. It gets created in May and then obviously carried out in September. So I just have to add that. We have our free ACT prep class coming up. The ACT is going to be on March 18th for our juniors. Our first, so there'll be a message coming from me really quickly here to all junior families. We really do want everybody to sign up. There'll be a math kickoff session on February 25th, and that'll be our one time before finals week that we will be engaged in some practice ACT stuff. And then afterwards, we would get together again on March 11th, 12th, and 13th. As well as a couple of dates, March 3rd and 10th, where the counselors will be available to talk through the Methodize program with kids. Again, if you don't know what that is, kids have an opportunity, the district pays for it, they have an opportunity to get access to free test questions and test prep. Ask your student about that, to log in to Methodize if you want to take a look at that, but also encourage them to sign up for our free ACT prep class. It's not a catch-all, but it is an opportunity to do a review with some of our really good teachers in math, science, and English in preparation for the ACT that's coming up on March 18th. Again, all juniors are welcome. Melissa mentioned the AP Boosts session. We're starting to work on that schedule pretty quickly. I know some people had some questions for teachers at conferences about when that might come out. Typically, we get a schedule out by the middle of March. Ideally, it's set up by the time kids leave the classroom. A teacher can tell them, "Hey, here's the dates. Let's make sure we see you there." I'm looking at Melissa here as an AP teacher, AP psychology. She does a really good job in helping to prep kids in preparing these sorts of lessons, for kids to be a part of, and we want them to be there. So again, look for the AP Boosts emails from me, and then follow the directions of teachers about where some of those things are going to be. The blood drive should be a really good time. Again, a lot of love for our kids. Patrick and the others who have been involved with the blood drive. Certainly, it's a good event, and it's always fun to see the participation. I talked to Mrs. Fopp this morning. There are over 30 kids signed up to donate already, which is a really good number to start. So, and on top of that, they're going to do some things in the next couple of weeks to try to educate people on the purpose of donating blood. You heard Patrick mention the rock, paper, scissors competition. When somebody brought that idea to me, I said, man, this is gonna be great. Let's do this. So everybody's gonna get beads. And essentially, you take people on around the building, and if you beat them, you get their beads, right? And so it should be a pretty fun time on that date. It's Monday, the Monday of the week there. When we engage in the rock, paper, scissors competition, I know that I will be out competing. So hopefully I do well. Kids can get prizes if they get over 50 beads. That's what we decided. So should be a pretty fun time. Along with you heard Patrick mention the scavenger hunt. I think they're going to hand out passports to kids, and they got to go get stamps and do some different things and learn about again the background of why we do a blood drive, and hopefully encourage more people to participate. I will be down there. Hopefully, I see some of you down there as volunteers as well. The musical Melissa mentioned already, it's 4 nights, 4 days, 4 nights in a day, or 3 nights in a day, excuse me, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th, Pirates of Penzance. There are 90 students engaged in this, so it's really a big group of kids. Every year it is in the musical, but it's a big group of kids to come and support through all different areas that they're involved in the production. It's been described to me as a fun and funny play, and I certainly look forward to seeing it. I think I'll be at the Saturday night one on the 15th. Last thing for me, we had the cold day the other day. Our instructional minutes matter, and we do run tight up against a limit every single year. Right now we're okay. That Friday, May 23rd, which is listed as a flex day, remains a flex day. If we have another cold day or snow day, certainly that date, Friday, May 23rd, would have to become a school day for students. You might remember that happened last year with us when we had multiple snow days. I might have a little bit of work to do with our schedule, just based on I know it's January. Obviously, it's been a pretty mild winter besides the cold here the last few weeks. Hopefully, we don't have any snow or cold days coming up. But if we do, like I said, that date will be an important now student contact day. Also used some of our instructional minutes to, you might remember, have the school shut down to attend the boys soccer state tournament game back in late October, or November, excuse me. And so if we have multiple days, there might be some work for me to do with the calendar, but more to come if that takes place. It's been a fun start to the new year at Homestead. We have withstood some sicknesses. Maybe you've had some in your house. We've got a number of kids who've been in and out with different things. It's been going through our school, I think going through the other schools too, but we're going to come out on the other side of this looking real good and head ourselves into the end of the trimester here pretty quickly. I'm happy to take some questions from anybody. Otherwise, I'll stick around and listen to Katie's presentation.
Mr. Ebert, I wasn't sure if we had the blood drive date. I don't recall hearing that on there. Do you have it?
Yeah, it's Thursday the 6th.
Thursday. I heard Thursday, but okay. So
Yeah,
February
Thursday
6th.
Yep,
Okay.
February 6th. And then it's a student off day on the 7th.
Okay, that's right. And Nancy does have a sign-up sheet on the MTK. Is that something we should make public for volunteers to help?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we move on? Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Well, amazing things happening for our students and so many really great resources to make sure you're accessing. Thank you for all those really important dates and reminders. I am reminded that I need to check in with my students about course registration because that is going to be here before we know it. So thank you very much. Yeah, really great stuff. Please, as a reminder, I don't know that we said it at the beginning of this meeting, but these meetings are recorded, so this information will be posted next week. All of these resources are available, so if you know somebody who needs it, please share it. All of the meetings are always recorded. They're posted on YouTube, and we share them within our newsletter as well. So, excellent. Well, and then I will, speaking of amazing resources, we have Katie here to talk about the MTEF program. They have our annual Tartan Bash coming up. Excited to hear news about the bash, things that MTEF is working on currently. So thank you, Katie, for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Mr. Ebert had no idea how apropos his segue was because I am pretty under the weather. So
Oh,
I
no.
am grateful that this is a virtual meeting and really appreciate PTSO for inviting me tonight. I'm Katie Ott, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the Mequon Thiensville Education Foundation. Quick refresher for anyone who needs it. MTEF is a nonprofit that serves MTSD by raising funds for students and staff in the areas of technology, curriculum, and professional development. We also recognize exceptional staff members with our Excellence in Education Awards, and this year we'll be awarding 2 scholarships to deserving students. So lots of good stuff that we do to support MTSD. We are in the midst of our annual campaign right now, which I certainly hope families will consider making a gift to. And in the midst of that, our board and our volunteers are gearing up for the return of the Tartan Bash. It's been a few years since MTEF hosted a Tartan Bash. You may have seen our Mardi Gras or our Derby themed events over the past few years. So we're thrilled to bring this one back to the community, and with an exciting James Bond theme, live and let learn, a mission of excellence. The bash is going to take place this year on March 1st, Saturday, March 1st at Shelley's in Thiensville. Festivities will begin at 5:30 p.m. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar, a plated dinner, silent auction, 50-50 raffle, wine and spirit pull, DJ, dancing, photo booth, and a special themed performance from the Homestead Jazz Band, which I think we're all really looking forward to. I've heard that they are practicing quite hard, so excited about that. This is definitely our signature event of the year, and there are lots of ways that families and community members can be a part of this really critical event for our fundraising. First, and I think this is where you get the most bang for your buck, we still have a couple of diamond tables available. So these are tables of 10. They come with lots of sponsor recognition and perks for your table guests, such as wine for the table and complimentary 50-50 tickets. There are other sponsorship levels available, and you can explore those on mtef.org under the events tab. But I truly think that the diamond tables are the ones that are, like I said, you get the most bang for your buck. Those are priced at $2,000 for that table of 10. Second, parents who are maybe looking for a fun night out just as a one-off, you can purchase tickets for $125. Those are available now through February 19th, but prices will go up to $150 if you don't purchase by February 16th. So if you're going to procrastinate, don't procrastinate past the 16th, because the prices will go up from $125 to $150. And by the way, the menu for the evening looks fabulous. You'll have your choice of a filet of beef, halibut, or a vegan acorn squash option. And everything is a gluten-free option as well. So excited about the menu. The whole evening is looking to be coming together really, really beautifully. So thank you to our amazing committee for pulling this together. Finally, for students, we do have a couple of volunteer opportunities still available. And I believe the Sign Up Genius link is going out in short kilts or MTK. Trudy could confirm or deny that perhaps. So please visit mtef.org. You'll find some more information about the Tartan Bash under the events tab. And you can also explore those additional sponsorship options or purchase your tickets. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Katie, we definitely will have it in the short kilts. There's still some discussion whether it'll go out in the our MTK. And I did see the sign up sheet, and there's a lot of students on there already. I think they're just really kind of excited about being a part of it. So that's encouraging. I know also there's a sooner date as to the raffles being opened up, the auction items. Now they are online ahead of time, correct?
That is correct. Yep. And those will open up, I believe the week before the event if you're holding a ticket. So definitely take advantage, get in there and bid on those auction items. There's some good stuff coming this year.
Amazing. Well, it's a wonderful time. I mean, jazz band is a highlight of the evening. They do a wonderful job. The food is amazing. So we're looking forward to it. Yeah, and we're excited for the community to get to celebrate together.
I am too. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me this evening, and looking forward to seeing some familiar faces on March 1st.
Wonderful. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Me too.
Excellent.
Thank
All
you, Katie.
Anything else before we move forward? I do see that some of those links that we just discussed are being added to the chat. Thank you so much, Nancy. I think she's added some of those sign up links here, more information, but we can certainly follow up as well. So I think to move on, next up we have minutes from last session. I can share them here if I'm correct in our agenda, which I think we are. That is next. So we do have, nope. What do we have? Here we are. Minutes from our last meeting in November to approve. Jenny?
Hi, everybody. The meeting minutes are also available on short kilts. In the last blast they had, can I have a motion to approve the November meeting minutes?
So
Move to-
moved.
I'll make a
Thanks.
motion to approve them.
Thank you. Second,
I'll second it.
anybody disagree? Meeting minutes are approved. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Thank you for doing that for us. That's very helpful. Next, we have our budget. And we do have a few updates here, I think. Jenna, thank you.
Okay, well, this is just our current situation. I won't go over every detail. Basically, I'm just going to go over what happened in December. In December, we had a beginning bank balance of $46,000, 368.26. We had deposits of $72.36 for membership dues. Our withdrawals expenses consisted of $78.94 for the holiday planters to beautify the front of Homestead, the drop-off area. And then our ending bank balance was $46,361.68. And that is all.
Fantastic. Any questions? Thank you for all of that. And forgive me, I never can remember if we have to approve the budget every time or just at the beginning of the meeting.
No, that's just for information and for the notes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks for making the school look nice. It does look nice. All right. What do we have next? It looks like, is Becky here for? Oh, nope, it's me. we'll do the president's report. Thanks everybody for coming along. Like I said, we had a great meeting in November. We were able to be joined by our superintendent joint with some updates on the referendum. Like I said, these meetings are recorded, and that meeting was recorded as well. So we've got links to that if you're curious, but it was great to get an update on the referendum and what that means for the school district. So thank you again to Superintendent Joint for joining us for these meetings. Super helpful to have the opportunity to have these amazing guests come and talk to our membership. So we're very grateful. Let's see. I guess as we've come back from holidays, PTSO has been involved in incoming freshman night. We were there at the beginning of January as some of the new freshmen from the middle schools were able to come up to the high school and get more information about what their high school experiences will be like. So we were able to meet with some of the incoming parents and talk a little bit about the services that PTSO provides at the high school level. It was great to be there and see some of the new Highlanders in the building. Some things that we have kind of coming up that we'll be working on. We'll be sharing more information as we move forward. We've been in communication with Mr. Ebert to get an idea for our Leave a Legacy project for this year. So we'll have more information coming out about that in the next few weeks. It's definitely a priority for February. Also be more information for senior dinner. We have a committee working on that. So those are some of the things that we're working on now. Yeah, and then great opportunities to kind of go back and reconnect on some of these other opportunities in the school with blood drive, prom, some of those events that we look to support every year as well. And then just wanted to say thank you very much. I mean, to the Staff Appreciation Committee for keeping our teachers well fed during conferences. It was nice seeing so many people in the building, meeting with the teachers, participating in that way. I think we said at the beginning of the year, and we'll continue to say it because I think it's a great thing to celebrate that PTO is looking for always ways to support our school and get as many parents kind of reconnected in the school, in the classrooms with the teachers as we can. So it's great to be able to support that and get to see so many people there. Any questions? All right. If not, we'll move on. I don't know if Becky's here.
I do not see Becky.
No, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here.
I'm sorry, there she is. It's not me. Go ahead, Becky.
Oh, I don't really have much to say. Just keep any information that you want included in short kilts coming, and I'll be sure to get that in there. And thank you to Nancy Urbani for taking care of short kilts earlier this month when I was on vacation with my family. That's all I have.
Wonderful.
Thank
Well,
you,
thank
Becky.
you for doing that for us every week.
It's such a good benefit to have as a PTSO member to have that short kilt. I depend on it, pretty much solely for my communication of what's going on at the school. So really appreciate that, Becky.
No problem.
I think that brings us into the staff appreciation, and it's been alluded to a couple times now already in this meeting. But we do have a committee of 6 of us, and we make sure that our staff is feeling appreciated. And we've had a couple opportunities in the last 2 months here. The sweet treats that we had back in December, on December 18th, was prior to the staff leaving. And we did a little bit different this time. We did it on the Wednesday before they left, and it was a late start for the students, but the staff had to be there and start their meetings at 7:30 in the morning. So we were there prior to that, and we were able to put together a big coffee bar for them, which they really appreciated. And then we had families bring in tons of desserts, breakfast desserts like muffins and scones and Kringles, and I was so impressed with the variety of it. But we had enough that the teachers were able to have those things that day and the next day. so they were very encouraged, and they loved having that on that early day that they all had to be there. The second event that we hosted was just last week, and that was the conference meal. That was sponsored by the junior families. We solicit the funds through MTK, and it goes out through our short kilts, and those families were able to donate directly to that fund. So we had it catered through Han An, and they were very generous to us, and they made fabulous food. We had a good variety for everybody. And I love being there because I get all the, gratitude for it when it's, I'm just standing there putting it out and keeping it going. But that's what the PTSO does. And I'm honored to be part of that group. We have another Sweet Treats coming up in February. It's been set for February 12th. It's just before Valentine's, and this will be more traditional. It will be a straight sweet treats, not breakfast items, but other ones. And our community is always very generous, bringing in all those sweet treats, whether they are homemade ones or they've been able to purchase them. And we will also have the coffee bar out for that too. And that is in February. And then beyond that will be our conference dinner again in April. So those are the few things that we have been doing through the Staff Appreciation Committee.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the update. Thank you for leading that for us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
We did mini grants in the fall. We have another opportunity for mini grants here in the spring. We have Jamie and Melissa.
Thank you. Yes, just announcing that we are soliciting our second round of mini grants. So we do have left in the budget, as you recall, we have teacher mini grants and then mini grants for student clubs. So we have $4,000 approximately left in the budget for teacher mini grants, and then we have about $1,250 left for student clubs. So lots of funds there. So we will go ahead and get in touch with Mr. Ebert tomorrow and provide him with the forms and ask him to forward those on to the club representatives and the faculty. And then hopefully we will get some good mini grant proposals that, come on back in February, because you can hear what those are and then vote on those for approval, hopefully, right? Hopefully we'll get some additional good projects that the kids and teachers are interested in pursuing. So.
Wonderful, thanks. Yeah, and if you have students in clubs who are interested in turning in a submission for funds, please encourage them to do so. It's a great opportunity for students. Takes like a little bit of leadership. There's some things that they need to communicate. It's great practice to kind of put that submission together, but it's also a great opportunity for the PTSO to get to support some of those projects. So please encourage your students if they're involved.
Absolutely. We'd like to spend the money, right? If we get enough proposals, good proposals, which hopefully we can.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Veronica, it wasn't on the agenda here, but I did get some information for the senior dinner.
Oh, yes.
Linda Welsh was not able to come here, but just real briefly, it has been set for June 8th. And it will be in the lobby and the cafeteria and the PAC at the school. There'll be more details to come, but just in case people needed to get that date set and set aside for that, which was the June 8th.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I think our final kind of committee report update here is that we are, I know it's only January, but we will begin the process of looking at PTSO positions for the following school year for 2025-26. Our first step in that is putting together a nominating committee. So we'll be working on that, putting together the nominating committee in the next month. So if you're interested in participating, please let us know if you're interested in a position for next year. We are kind of starting those conversations. So, and we'll have more information on that as we get closer as well.
Hi, Veronica. I'm sorry I don't know if I should go in now or after.
No, please. This is perfect. Thank you.
I have been doing grad greetings for a couple of years now, and this will be my last child who's graduating. So I think it would be great if somebody could do them with me this year.
Wonderful. Okay.
So if we can encourage somebody that preferably somebody, who has either their first child coming through or that they'll be here for a couple of years. It's I think we've got it kind of down. I've worked with Connie Kittleson, and I think it's not as complicated. It does take some time, and it would be a lot easier to do it 1 year, and then to take it over next year would be a lot easier
Okay.
without.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great idea. Are there any ideas? I mean, we don't have to throw out names, but if you have ideas.
Well, this is my youngest, so I'm an old mom.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot of the young ones coming up.
Yeah, that's why we need to be at freshman night. I felt the same way.
I know Carrie Adams, but I think she's pretty involved in MTEF and all that stuff. That's the only young mom I know.
Okay. Well, we can we can work on that. I think that's a great idea to get you some support for this year and then going into next year. We can certainly work on that.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, no problem. I found out what Whitefish Bay does. Oh, I don't know if anybody's heard what they do for grad greetings. Don't let any parent talk to them. All right. Thank you, everybody. And thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Okay, wonderful. Let's see. That would just leave us with our organization reports. Trudy attended area council this month.
Yes, I did. Area council was 2 weeks ago, and there were 16 representatives there. They come from all of our PTOs and our PTSO, and also Dr. Joint was there, and we also have representation there from the rec department. And Kelly Robinson takes like the most fantastic notes, and it's 11 pages long. So I really can't summarize all of it. There's a lot there. There's so much information, and those notes can be made available. So if anybody's interested in what goes on at those meetings, it just really encompasses our whole district, and we try to coordinate things that are happening, and there's just some really great results that come from those meetings. We had an opportunity to present our SOAR report, and within that Veronica put together a really nice report of what our strengths are and our opportunities, and then what our aspirations are, and the results that we've seen through this year so far through our PTSO. And there were a few questions that came about from our report, and so people were very encouraged by what was going on with our PTSO, which I am too. We're really, I think we're doing a lot of important things within our school. Dr. Joint did share that there's it's called the SWOT analysis was out, and it was really encouraging. A few things that they want to kind of reflect on and learn from, but he was excited about those results. And then he also brought up some strategic planning that was in the process, and those had taken, they were last week at Rangeline, and I don't know if anybody was able to attend them. I wasn't able to, but it seemed really encouraging that they were reaching out to do some strategic planning there. We had also heard from the school board, and kind of gave us some idea of what they're working on and how that affects all of us. There were a couple other reports, but there's not much more that I want to go that we haven't touched on, other things like the MT Education Foundation gave a report, and then a few other things. So I'm going to leave it at that because there's just really too much to go over on it.
No, that's great. It is a great opportunity for all of the PTSOs in our district to come together at that area council meeting, kind of compare what is going on in the schools, going on in our community, going on with obviously MTEF and some of those amazing kind of support organizations. So it is a great opportunity to talk about what we're doing and learn what everybody else is doing. We are presenting our report to the working Board of Education meeting, I believe, next week. If you're super excited, I'm sure you could, members are invited to attend. Any questions about area council? All right. I don't know that Nicole or Julie are here with us, but I'll give them the opportunity to speak up if I'm incorrect. All right. Lots and lots of boosters activities going on. Trudy and I were able to talk with Julie at the beginning of the month. There's just a lot of activities going on. And I know their email updates are extensive at this point in the season as well. So please reach out if you have anything there. But Julie Smallwood is a great resource there as well if you need anything related to boosters. Moving on to the end of our agenda, any old business to discuss or things that from earlier in this meeting that we didn't cover? All right, any new business? Okay, well, we will look forward to coming back in February with updates on mini grants. We will have a little bit more information, I think, on Leave a Legacy and some of those projects. And in the meantime, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the month. Our next meeting will be February 20th, Thursday night. And I look forward to seeing you all there. If there are no further questions, can we have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn at 8:19.
Perfect. Second?
Thank you, Veronica. Appreciate it.
Wonderful.
I can second.
Thank you very much.
Have a great night.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.